hopefully we'll have some time there. I'm helping my mom move, so
Yeah.
we're packing.
Yeah, we're helping her. I had to carry some boxes.
Yeah.
Can you take these pictures? Just take them out on the ground down there, so your dog walking past there is not going to knock them over like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't want this to be big. If that's not flashing, then maybe we can I'm going to go sit down. Yeah.
Last a few more days.
Do you think any kind of, you said any kind of being you can imagine exists in our universe?
Yeah, that's as far as I understand anyway. In perhaps our multiverse, but at least in our connectable universe.
I know he's an angel, but if somebody said, I want to date an angel or whatever,
Yeah,
just for an angel, would it work out like me and the Anthro?
probably. If people put out a single-minded focus on getting a specific type of relationship, they're very likely to get it. What really surprised me about the global political environment in the last few years was that when Russia proposed that we place peacekeepers in the Ukrainian combat zone, the United States ambassador said that they would be too expensive.
Oh.
You know, that was really weird.
To place ambassadors? What?
Place peacekeepers
Oh.
in the war zone. He said it was too expensive, and I was like, "What are you saying, man? You know, what are you really saying?" The other side is asking for peacekeepers. You're blaming them for the war, and you don't want to have peacekeepers in the region because it would just help them.
Are you talking about the peacekeeper that carries a gun?
Yeah,
Oh.
that prevents war from breaking out in a region. Like saying that it's too expensive and that it would just help the Russians. I'm like, do you guys actually like war? Because that's what's
Yeah.
seems to happen. I'm like, it's very unhealthy. I see things like that occasionally happening with other governments in the world, just doing weird, stupid things like that. It's a really stupid idea when your enemy asks for peacekeepers to deny that. You're literally telling them that under no conditions will you have peace with them, but they have to fight until the very end. It's very stupid.
You're conserving the flour a little bit with the oil?
I'm adding the oil because I want to conserve the flour a little bit.
You may not have any new flour until we get back.
Yeah. It should happen when the money goes through.
Yeah, I'll
then
check every day or whatever. And
yeah, but it's possible the money will once again be delayed for some weird reason and the situation will go to hell. Or when you get paid again, which won't probably happen until
Are you offended that I checked in like yes or no? Did Aki really send me money?
Yeah.
And I got a yes. Are you offended?
That's a little weird. But it's
because my mom is telling me he didn't send you anything. She's like undermining it. So
Yeah.
I just checked in just to be sure, but
yeah, I did show you the bank account
Yeah.
screen, but I could have faked that and such, you know. It's possible for me to like theoretically fake all that stuff, get a free vacation, you know, corrupt you with evil and leave, you know. I
Yeah.
understand the possibility. But that's definitely Cyan performance, you know what I mean?
Oh.
That's like the whole thought that I didn't pay you, that's definitely Cyan.
is it if you're gonna do business dealings with somebody or some relationship or interaction, is it good to check in if this is a good or a bad person or?
It's generally a good advice to always use your logic when dealing with it. This tastes very much like oil and not at all like cannabis, but I only put it on the top layer so the bottom should start to smell like cannabis again, though this is very strongly the oil.
Are you gonna want to use the hemp lucid while I'm gone?
I don't know, depends on how much like spare you have, because I don't want to use the whole thing and cost you like 100 extra. But
Yeah.
it's probably better than using nothing. I don't want to
Yeah.
go through that.
I have like a half a bottle or more.
Yeah.
It only takes do you use a half a dropper or just a few drops? Because that's a really strong.
Basically, of this stuff, I use like a dropper. But the hemp lucid is very oily. It's very hard to put a lot of it in a single base.
Oh.
So I would probably use half a dropper at a time.
It's thick, yeah.
Yeah, but I would in this particular case probably use it all when you, by the time you get back and tell you to buy another bottle with the money I send you, you know?
Yeah.
Probably do that. Are we still content with me sending you 1.2?
Yeah, that's it's more than I expected, so it's good.
Yeah, that's good. It's also more than I expected, because I didn't expect the guys to pay me anything for that trip, but they did, which is nice.
What is a being that's not a human, not an Eldar, not an angel, and not a demon?
Probably an ethereal. Like vampires are ethereals. They live in the marshland. Ancient gods are mostly ethereals. What are you doing, Pooh? Wow, you almost fell over. Pookie.
So he would be happy if I wrote about him, wouldn't he?
Probably. That's what I'm sensing with him giving you a pencil, but he would probably be more happy if you write a society, you know what I mean?
Write about his society?
Yeah, write his society, you know what I'm doing.
Write his society?
Yeah, write his
Oh,
society.
yeah.
You know what I'm doing with like explaining the society and kind of creating the image while I explain it. He would be probably happier if you get that pencil at least, like,
Yeah.
you know, after we've gone through the initial period. Hey Loki, can you get up? He's full of mosquitoes again, and they're gonna attract like try to draw blood from me again. It was probably worth it so that the dog gets out.
My mom goes up and down. She likes you, and then she doesn't like you, and then she likes you.
Yeah. I think that's like where she fairly clearly said that the fibromyalgia makes her psychotic, so it's probably a sign of that. She's very undecided. She goes up and down. What were you gonna say?
She's like, all your friends are drug addicts, and I'm like, well, that's the kind of people I attract, and it's like probably to help them, you know, or something.
Yeah. Also, it probably helps you the most because they're the most like liberal, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Gives you free energy. It's also probably an aspect of rebelling against your mother in some way. You know.
But my other friend did speed. That was about it. He didn't like marijuana.
Yeah, and I haven't done any injectable drugs over here, and I don't do injectable drugs.
Yeah, he injected.
And I haven't done any like harsher drugs while I'm here, like LSD, and I haven't made you buy me like real weed and stuff like that I'm like addict about, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I'm only doing completely legal things. I'm gonna mix the oil one with the rest of this thing. The oil feels pretty bad to add to this thing. It doesn't taste good. The hand lucid tasted really good. So I'm gonna do that. Did you listen to the song I linked? The song of Wind, Fire and Earth, I think.
Well, when I played, it was in the middle of the.
Yeah, because it's the entire soundtrack.
Yeah.
And the one I linked you was the specific moment when that game soundtrack starts playing.
Yeah, it was like I didn't notice flutes and stuff, but
Yeah, I said it doesn't have flutes, but
Oh.
it's like that with flutes and lutes,
Oh.
you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. But I listened to about like 5 minutes of it or something.
Yeah, you probably got to the end of the song and started playing the next song already. It's only like a couple of minutes long. I don't think it's available as an independent song file. You have to play that thing.
Did you have to search that song to find that moment?
Yeah, I had to look for it, and then there was like a text down on the list of that song with different songs, and I clicked them while long enough to find it. I initially thought it was the 65 million years BC, but that's like when they're on the mountain adventuring down, while the song I'm linking you is when they are down at a party in the like prehistory. It's a good party.
So you didn't want to hear that song because in the third video I posted, I'm like, this is how he plays guitar, how it sounds to me.
I could listen to it, but I'm very hesitant to listen to outside songs. It's definitely like a blockage I have.
Oh,
like
that's fine.
Limitation I have, but I'm very hesitant to add new music to my energy.
Oh, okay.
I occasionally do so, but it seems to be that like I often don't like it, but I like game soundtracks.
Yeah.
When I add an entire world and there's a soundtrack for that world, I tend to like it.
They call his genre of music neo soul.
Okay. I'm gonna eat the rest of the pie in the fridge. You want any?
I'll try some. Well, it's you said stay away from sugar, but
Yeah, especially processed sugars, but you can have a little bite, a little piece. Don't like starve yourself. That's also unhealthy. Yeah, I definitely don't like this oil. It's the one that gives you a headache, quite clearly.
are you gonna finish that bowl though?
Yeah, I mixed it with the rest of the thing, so I'm not gonna throw it away. It's the mix I made earlier. Hemp Lucid was really good.
Does that big bottle of the black one give you a headache?
Yeah, it kind of gives me a headache. It probably should be used like
Orally, yeah.
Subcutaneous.
Sublingually.
Sublingually. Isn't subcutaneous under the skin?
Yeah.
Okay. Injecting that thing, that'd be nice. It's possible to actually make an injectable cannabinoid, but it's very difficult and requires lab level work. So that's why it's funny when people say somebody injects cannabis, you know what I mean?
When they did research where they were testing DMT, like they got permission in the US to do experiments on it,
Yeah.
they injected it.
Yeah. I heard about the study. It's very interesting. I'm definitely reaching a new level of understanding with Skald and slowly advancing towards the third chakra. She had some like very deep held misunderstandings about me, like people were trying to influence her to like not keep away from me very specifically,
Yeah.
but to misunderstand me.
Oh.
Like weird things that we like got over, and it was very interesting. She's slowly becoming more positive, but she's still very hesitant to commit to a relationship, which I completely understand because I seem to be mostly about lust and money, you know what I mean? But she noticed how some people were, like very recently noticed how some people were attacking her and me and painting me to be the attacker on her. You know, she noticed, for example, that her, like, I would say half-father did that, because in a lot of her public material she doesn't have a father, and I feel like it may not have been her real father, or it was her real father and she now has like another father, like an alternative father, and he was very much in that camp, and she was very surprised.
I have a tendency to panic a little bit when I have a misunderstanding with him.
Yeah, I do that too, but I can control it quite well.
Like, I got the image that time is short. I don't have a long time, but that may have been misconstrued.
Yeah, it's possible.
And that really felt. Do you think Skald exists as a person now, or will she become a person?
Both. Depending on how high I get in my energies in contacting with her, she might appear as a real person, or she might send like a clone of hers, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like a homunculus. Depending on how far she gets in her understanding of me.
What's the difference between a homunculus and a golem?
Very little. Homunculus are usually looking biologically like a human to begin with, while a golem becomes a human if enough invested. Didn't mean to poke you there.
You remember earlier our toes accidentally touched, and you were like,
Yeah.
Mine kind of. I didn't notice at first until you went,
stayed
and then
there.
I didn't really notice until you had moved, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I remember that. She noticed that she's been fighting that basically all the faces that I've created of her have fought with all the other faces that I've created of her. That she and like other female that look similar, and she's like, why was I doing that? You know what I mean? She like got over it, and it was
You're
very
trying to create different versions of her?
I'm trying to create one version, but I'm unable to do so. I tend to create different versions, like different faces of the same person, while I'm trying to maintain having one.
That's interesting, because I tune into him and I get one version I don't get.
Yeah, but when they appear physically in your life, it's so hard to hold on to them. And when they like let go of you and continue on with their life, you like go like, hey, I want to meet her again, and it's very difficult to organize it with the same person. Like
Yeah.
it feels like it's like very difficult. So you just like find somebody who looks similar online and empower them, and very quickly you have two masks of the same person. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
That happens especially with lower desires. But I do feel like I'm consistently inside Skald instead of somebody else, you know what I mean? Very dark, small energies, like dark hair, like very intuitive, uses a lot of machine oil, builds a lot of machines, you know? I'm consistently inside the same energy.
Is the lovey-dovey feeling between two people a lower thing?
Maybe, but most likely not. I feel like it's a higher thing. A lot of mosquitoes. Loki definitely attracts them to him when he roams the bushes.
Is it wrong to build a relationship firstly out of lust?
No, that's how many relationships start, and if you're good, it advances. Many people, for example, demand that they have sex with their partner at least once before they start an actual relationship.
Oh,
That
yeah.
feels a little repugnant to me, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Sex like evolves with the people who do it, so if you have like good sex immediately, you're missing the whole evolution because you have so many partners before it. You know, it feels like prostituting the other self, but once again, I don't know for sure. Loki's a little offended that I'm connecting you with an anthro. He like feels we're infringing on his species sexuality, but he's like cool with it, you know what I mean? He's like starting to like accept it, but he feels like we're infringing on his species sexuality in a way.
They're different than dogs, though, a little bit.
Yeah, but he definitely feels like we're having like a dog we hump just for humping a dog, you know? He definitely has that feel.
I have some tendencies for dogs, but I'm not really into dogs.
Yeah. I used to watch a fair bit of horse porn because those women that had like an entire horse inside them looked really happy. like it was something that, you know, no human could physically perform, and they looked really happy, and it was like really weird. I got over it fairly quickly, and I wouldn't say over it, but I lost my desire.
I've seen the
for it.
videos where somebody's giving a horse a blowjob, and it's all like, it comes and stuff, and it's just yogurt.
Yeah.
It's like fake. It's so fake.
Yeah. one where a horse was riding a woman doggy style, and I was like, how can she fit that whole thing inside her? Doesn't it like hurt like hell? And it wasn't in the butt, was it? It was like in the other place, and I was like, how stretchy are you, woman? That is incredible. That was really like weird. Reminds me of the 2 girls, 1 cup thing. I'm gonna go get the metal thing and clean up the barn. I'm probably also gonna get another energy drink and let the dogs in at the same time. Up, Lolo. Yeah.
It's funny. I ask him, tell me something new or something that would surprise me or something, and then my mind kind of gets in the way and it's silence. I don't hear anything because I'm trying to, like, am I making this up or? Yeah. And then when I relax or whatever, I think I hear, like, I asked him to tell me something, and then he told me he has a fascination with the contrast between the endless and the now.
Yeah.
And I got that when I kind of relaxed. That's not something I could just make up, I don't think.
You could, but it's very difficult. Like, theoretically, all kinds of astral communications, from the simple to the complex, could be made up.
Yeah.
But it's like much more difficult than picking up a scent of somebody. It requires a lot more energy than actually picking up the scent of a society to actually make everything up. Of course, doctors and, atheists are gonna tell you that you're just making it up and you're just cold reading, That's happened to me many times, but you just have to live.
Well, atheists, they'll see what they want to see. If this anthro showed up and he showed his anthro side to an atheist or whatever, they still wouldn't see it.
Yeah. Literally, the story in the What the Belief Do We Know movie, where they couldn't see the European ships like at first, that's quite literally what they see. It's very hard to see something that's new. Like, they don't have the ability to process it. Just explaining to them that everything is real, it's just a matter of distance, your science says it too, is something they're physically unable to admit. They think that everything is real except the things they don't dislike. Because in many cases, many bad things have happened to them in the childhood, and they're like, if God is good, how could he allow this? Well, while they don't realize that God is good because exactly because he allows it, not like despite it. The main definition of a good God is that he allows evil. That's like one of the very first definitions of God.
Wait, if Slanesh is the weakest chaos god and Korn is the strongest chaos god, how come Korn doesn't just annihilate Slanesh?
All of them are powered so strongly by their believers that they keep resurrecting.
Oh.
So in essence they are immortal, but if you as an individuated being became Slanesh as an individuated being, then probably when Korn killed Slanesh you would die. But when Korn kills Slanesh, the most powerful Slaneshian demon becomes the next Slanesh. And that essentially powers it. Damn, this mosquito biting my leg. Wonder if I'm able to get it. No, it flew away.
Being a chaos god is not really a fun existence, is it?
What?
Being a chaos god is not really a fun existence, is it?
It probably is. I would see that it's probably a fun existence, I have that sense that it's not like a bad existence at all. But it's being an evil being in ways. No, some people enjoy it.
But there's good chaos too, isn't there?
Chaos by definition is chaos, and what we understand as good is very often order instead of good. Because we like things to be ordered and predictable, so chaos to us as its primal form is almost always evil.
But what about the mystery? Like, it begins and ends in mystery. Is that chaos?
That is chaos. And like I said, for like most cases it's evil, but we do understand it as good in the New Age community. But if you were to talk to like a Christian minister about the infinity of the mystery in the terms we're talking about, like chaos, intelligent infinity and such, you would probably get a response of that Satan.
Yeah. A Jehovah's Witness once knocked on my door. I told her something, and she told me that's Satan. That's like, that's a good way of converting somebody.
Yeah. Law of one channel from an ancient Egyptian civilization. Yeah, that's Satan. I believe we're all one perfect being and God is just manifest to experience itself. That's Satan. No, it says very clearly in the Bible we're separate from God and God's creation and not connected to God in the same way that we influence Him. Okay, so why is there free will and the ability to change opinion of God in biblical stories? There isn't! Know what I mean?
In the Bible, God's killed billion or millions or whatever, and Satan's killed like one or something.
Yeah. It's the hallmark of a negative religion. Excusing the lives that your God kills and going like, the other side kills more. No, he kills you all by leading you astray into infinite hell. Okay. What's the hallmark of hell? An endless party with drugs. Okay, interesting. Know what I mean? Like if you imagine Slanesh being hell, it's very different than actually like being in hell.
Yeah.
Like when I looked at him up close, there was like the people up from the equator were all happy and shiny and looking up or away from him, and the people down at the equator were very unhappy and dark and looking towards him, like looking up to him for salvation. And once they reached the contact of talking with him, they're all happy and so on. Like upper centers start to be happier and more angelic.
Even in the worst of my schizophrenia, it was freaky, but it wasn't like beyond what I could handle.
Yeah.
It was like if that was hell, I'd been like, it'd be bad, but I guess I wouldn't be overwhelmed. I don't think.
Yeah.
Seeing ghosts and stuff, it kind of turns you white a little bit, but
yeah,
it's not like psychological torture.
Yeah. And hell makes your connections very short, very powerful, and very militant. So when you have like a military mindset and your connections are very short, hell will be a nice place for you. Because it's just you training your combat abilities or something like that and nothing more.
You said to get out of hell, you have to go down and ride Satan's back, according to the... Can you rise out of hell? Move more positive?
Yeah, that's also possible. As far as I understand, anyway.
And then the marshland is very wide, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very wide region. Though it's possible you can't get out of hell by climbing up any more than you can get out of a black hole by climbing up.
Oh.
The only way to get out of hell is to look at Satan and fall towards it, like the central singularity. That also feels like a very true concept.
Yeah. It'd be like Event Horizon times a million.
Yeah.
Etutame. I remember that.
Etutame. The part where he goes like, save our souls from hell or something. It's a very freaky movie. I think I want to rewatch it while living here. Loki's gonna be so sad he can't get to the front yard while I'm the only person here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He might think it's really weird living with me and I don't let him out and I just feed him. He might think it's very weird. It's also possible that he starts to attack me, but I consider that a little unlikely.
Well, you can talk with him, but can you influence him?
I think so. I can get him to when he's lying down and I say Loki, he gets up and starts walking towards me.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. But the fact that he likes to be on my bed, bed couch thing that I have also makes me kind of hesitant because it's kind
Well,
of
you can
like
sleep on my mom's bed if you want.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean he's trying to like dominate me when he's in my bed. I can clearly tell from his like mindset that he's trying to dominate me, and so it makes me a little uncomfortable. But you know, I think I'll be able to handle it. Here's my energy drink. So I misplaced it. Did you notice Plenum, and I think it was Patrick or somebody, liked my post about the way we've influenced each other?
No, Plenum liked it.
Yeah, there was somebody who liked it later, and I noticed him. Plenum liked it first. He liked it quite early. There were a few typos there that I had to correct. I made some weird typos.
Have you ever had a glowing review from somebody like that?
What do you mean?
Like somebody really like giving a positive feedback on you like that?
Do you mean Plenum's response or like?
Oh, he responded?
No, Plenum's liking or you helping me.
No, me giving my feedback on how you've helped me.
That thing, yeah.
Do you get glowing reviews like that sometimes?
I do sometimes get them. But it always feels really good when it happens.
Does it come at a time when you feel a little bit despondent or whatever, you could use the encouragement?
Not always, but in this particular case, for example, because I'm quite like under psychic attack, it felt really good.
Are they attacking you more than me?
Probably. My lusts are more socially unacceptable at the moment, so they're probably compressing on me more than on you. I wouldn't call the general field an attack, but rather the compressive effect of being too close to a black hole. But it does feel like an attack at times, and sometimes there's like specific things that like attack or bump into me, and I have to push them away before they bump into me. Like again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a huge planetary ring orbiting a black hole with some other like large chunks in there that I have to occasionally push away while gaining energy from the black hole.
Can a white magician pursue some STS too?
Yeah, I think so, but it most often depolarizes them and makes them weaker in other fields until they polarize again. But you usually learn a lot from the opposite side and interacting with them. That's why, you know, when a negative attacks you, you're supposed to send a lot and like, you know, try to integrate their thoughts into your field as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, but is it depolarizing to send love without them asking for it?
Usually.
But they're attacking you, so I guess it's fair, isn't it?
It's the most acceptable form of response, but you have to understand that it's still depolarizing because you're failing to accept what's given.
Yeah.
You know, you fail to accept their worldview, which has the same amount of love as yours into your worldview. So you know it's depolarizing.
The images I see of him are always so supporting and stuff. I have this. I get afraid sometimes that he's going to just reject. Sometimes it's going to be this random, and he's going to reject me. And it's just
that's a normal part of relationships, being randomly afraid of being rejected. But you know, it's usually recommended that you work against it. Like having random fears about your spouses, it's usually recommended that you work against that. Yeah. I've never used injectable drugs, but I've snorted opiates once. It was a very unpleasant experience. It made me feel sick. Felt like I was destroying and completely going against my own energies. It felt very abnormal. But yeah, it feels like he's definitely wanting you to take over the writing of his society.
Do you think I almost see his society as good as you do?
Probably, and you'll probably get very much better at it very shortly.
Because I'm so focused on them, and
That's why.
one thing, you know, when you're single-minded.
My interest seems mostly academic, while yours seems visceral, so it's probable that you'll get better at it than I am. You're also using much energy to develop, and it's also possible, and in some cases probable, that you'll become better at psychic abilities than me. The younger a person is, the better they'll usually become at psychic abilities by comparison, because, you know...
But I'm older than you.
Exactly. But you're younger at this particular form of learning.
Oh.
I was just pointing out that it's usually the younger person who's better, but it's not always the case. It's usually also the more primitive person that's better. Ooh, I got a mosquito. Ooh, I got another mosquito. That was quick. 2 in quick succession, that was good. Not my gentle son! I've appointed Louis here as the commander of my military affairs. Throws out of window.
He really liked that flight exercise. He's riding a kid's, not a spaceship, but it's like a jet or something, but it's,
Yeah.
it's just a kid's ride, you know.
Yeah.
You just sit on it, it's on a big spring, you know.
Yeah. You mean one of those springs that is attached to the ground and you rock back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that too.
They have those in Finland too.
Yeah, they do. You can't ride in them as an adult very well because they're so soft, so if you like really hold yourself there, you'll fall over sideways and go like, no! You have to like keep the motion backwards and forwards. Those stinging bushes really hurt me. I have a few scratches on me. All the mosquitoes are gone now that Loki is no longer here. I feel like I could go get the entire pie and eat it and leave you like a small slice
Yeah.
while eating it here in the yard instead of inside on the computer. I feel like that.
You're gonna grab the pie pan and eat out of it?
Yeah, and just cut a small slice and put it on a plate, or do the opposite. Because the pie sort of crumbles when you try to cut and then lift
Yeah.
it. So I'll probably
You really
do
liked
that.
it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was very good. Like one of the best foods I've had here. That I think it was a burrito or something was very similar that she made. I think there were something like spring rolls without being spring rolls. Something like that.
Egg rolls?
Something like that, but it wasn't the egg rolls. It was one of those other foods she made. Very good. I don't like the way she cooks her meat. It becomes very like chewy. You really
Yeah.
have to put effort into it. I like cooking meat fast and at a high temperature, so like all the moisture gets sucked in it and like stays in there. I'm gonna have to barbecue some steaks for you when you get back. Have a barbecue. I'm also gonna have to make that salad for you, and I'll probably make salted salmon as well, but that seems like all the things I'll make. Because you had spaghetti, I was thinking that it would be... Oh, didn't mean to like to try to grab that picture. You've also had spaghetti many times, so like you don't have the like need for that. But I would have made it if the soy pieces thing was available. If that was available, I would have definitely made it. But nah. I'm gonna be eating so much noodles while you're gone. It's gonna be amazing. I have a huge supply of noodles and tuna fish and meat in there. Yeah, I'm gonna go get the pie I need to eat. This thing isn't the taste I'm craving for. I'm gonna cut you a slice and leave it on the plate.
Alright.
It may be very crumbled.
Yeah.
I put some of it on the side for you. Probably could have stood to have a little bit more, but I felt like you could use some other sugars as well.
Yeah. I'm kind of like walking with him in a park, and there's a lot of flat moss. That's interesting.
Interesting.
And the rocks, let's see. A lot of gray stones.
Gonna put like a kilo on my weight.
A what?
This is gonna put like a kilo on my weight.
Yeah, it's weird. Food makes you gain more weight than what the food weighs. That's the way it happens.
Yeah.
You have a sweet tooth, I guess?
Yeah.
My psychic touch is pretty decent. We're walking through a shallow creek or something, and I can feel the cool water a little bit and feel the mud. I'm barefooted, and I can feel the mud's a little sticky or whatever.
You could probably have the rest.
You're full?
I feel like I'm full. You probably want the rest.
Yeah, take it in there whenever you're done, and I'll finish off or whatever. Maybe. I'm kind of hungry too.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind me eating this particular piece with a spoon. You know, you're not afraid of cuties.
Nah. I'll grab another spoon, but I don't mind
you. Know, at the edge of it, there's gonna be my spoon contact. I don't have herpes or anything like that, as far as I'm aware of. I have the human papilloma virus, and I've had a single outbreak, but so does about 80-90% of humanity. That was good eating. I'm very full now. I almost feel noxiously full. Can't imagine how I got so many of these sticker poison
grass seeds
on my clothes again. Got a huge amount of these. When I go to bed, they're all gonna be in my, armpits. Did you watch the Di Malkovich thing?
Yeah, I've seen John Malkovich before.
Yeah.
But it had is that the one with they're in the swimming pool and stuff?
Yeah. That was a really weird one.
Yeah, I'm like, how does that apply to my anthro? But
yeah, I don't know. I just clicked them all. It's kind of like applies to my past with like the soldier girl. It kind of applies to that. But in your case, I would say it's probably the first signs of like what it feels like to cross dimensions and die in the other dimension. You know what I mean? It kind of feels like that. Mosquito! Did I get it? No? Buddhists would be horrified at how much we're killing the mosquitoes.
The Jains would be upset too.
Huh?
Have you heard of the Jains?
I think I've heard
They're,
of them.
They're the most respectful of. They'll scoot their feet so they don't step on a bug.
Yeah. Aren't those the guys between India and Iran?
I'm not sure where they are.
There's a mosquito again. It's insistently biting on me. I'll get it eventually if it continues. I wonder if the history of my interaction with mosquitoes, if there's ever been a mosquito that's gotten blood from me and survived the experience.
It's gets what?
That's gotten blood from me and survived the experience.
I don't know. They stay on you for a while, you know.
Yeah. I always seem to notice with them when they start stinging, but it's possible that some of them have found places where I haven't noticed it and I've gotten blood from me and survived the experience. If even one of those breeds, it's gonna create 1 million mosquitoes again. So it's like a useless task. I feel like I want to play one game of that Fate thing again.
Faith, what?
Fate of the World thing.
Oh,
The
okay.
environmental simulator. Feel like I want to play one game of that again.
Just for fun, or?
Yeah, just for fun and see how well I do now and record the whole experience. Like, calibrate how well my society works against a large challenge in a quick manner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still can't believe they're basically building an IV to the alcohol factory in my country instead of worrying about becoming energy independent and not using coal power so much, you know what I mean? I can't believe that. I'm really disappointed in them.
His head looks black to me, not blue. He was doing this with his tongue, and I could see his fangs. It's a bit more realistic than the cartoon.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I'm seeing the wrong color or what.
It seems like the orange ends at the top of the head, and I would concur that it seems like the face is black. It could be that it's white, but it's definitely not blue. His face is definitely not blue, I wouldn't say that. It could be black. And it's possible you'll start to pick up information that doesn't jive with my information, but I would trust yours more.
And his fur looks gray almost, not blue.
I get the sense of blue.
Oh, maybe
But-
I'm seeing some.
No,
Maybe
it's perhaps metallic white.
Yeah,
and
it's-
gray on the edges, like I kind of said that he also has white in his fur.
Yeah.
And it's possible you're seeing it as gray because I'm like distinctly putting him under bright light when I observe his face or his like
Yeah.
overall color. I don't like glance at him at his home. I like put him under a very strong light and see what it reflects.
Oh,
So that may be why we're seeing different colors. I'm looking for like the true color, you know, kinda. This oil is definitely vile.
you gonna be able to finish it?
Yeah, but it's definitely vile. Should probably put a little bit of the hemp lucid in it and mix it around.
I'm gonna go grab the pie. Do you want me to bring the hemp lucid out or not?
Nah. Actually bring it up. So a huge wasp almost fell on my face. You're alone at last. You notice the red plate with some of that stuff on it?
Yeah, I got both.
Did you bring a spoon?
A fork.
Okay. That's a heavy dose of sugars for you, but I think that's in the acceptable range if you eat something non-sugary next. I would recommend a salad or a turkey sandwich. I could make you some of those tuna sandwiches I've been eating, so I get like 3 and you get 2. We could even cut the last one in half if you want. God, these mosquitoes are everywhere. Is it any good?
Yeah.
You ate it very fast. I was taking small bites and trying to savor the taste.
They make a pie that's made with red berries. That's they're kind of bland though.
Yeah.
Some of their food's bland.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the spices we have.
It's possible they haven't developed the technology yet. We could very well be more advanced in spices because it was a huge interest throughout history.
Yeah.
Because we had just such rotten food that we needed spices to make it seem palatable.
Yeah, when I tune into their meat that they eat, I don't sense salt or anything.
Yeah.
It tastes like just land or whatever.
Do you agree with my interpretation that a lot of their meat is grown in vats? That it's not like grown in animals. You know
I get a feeling that it's ethical.
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics of it though.
Yeah. Seems ethical to me.
Have you heard of Esther Abraham Hicks?
Yeah.
The Abraham channelings?
Yeah.
Her husband or whatever would be like, whenever he would do anything, he'd be very rhythmic and
Yep.
Everything was like a ritual to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like them. They always see that there's a certain sacramental nature to.
Yeah. I get the sense that a lot of their meat is grown in labs, and they do things like grow hearts in labs for consumption, but it doesn't have the taste of a heart that has experienced organic life. So a lot of them eat like the inner organs of animals just to get their experiences, and a badly treated animal tastes like acrid to them, kinda. It tastes very like I would suppose I could use the word acidic, but that's not the word. It's like acrid and acidic at the same time. And they prefer well-treated animals because the taste is much better. You're literally like eating love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they prefer. I get the strong hunch for it. Again, 2 mosquitoes at this time. Did I get you both? I gotta get one of you.
Did you send your friend the angel link?
Yeah, I did. He saw me send it, I think, but he hasn't responded yet. I want to hear what he thinks. Told a couple of my friends, or at least one of them. I'm gonna tell the other ones later. I think I told 2 of them, but at least one. The whole joke about the what do you do when you get a puppy thing.
Yeah.
And they responded with the Jewish joke, and it was very funny. Did I tell you the Jewish joke?
No.
What does a Jewish pedophile say to a child?
What?
You want to buy some candy?
Oh.
Very naughty.
Jewish are all about
Money and mercantile. Yeah, but they also have a very strong culture of playing with their children. That's why Jewish children are so intelligent. I talked with a lot of the black guys at the community where I was at, and we both distinctly agreed that the reason the Jews are so smart is they play with their children so much. And the reason the Africans are so dumb is that they have very large families because they don't get to play with the individual child, so he becomes like compromised in the situation. He doesn't get the same kind of love, you know. That's what they said. I was very impressed. And I would be hard pressed to say I'm more intelligent than the black people I saw, even though my IQ is something on the order of 145. And they are very intelligent, all the black immigrants that I've seen. They are very intelligent, and I've lost like intellectual debates with them many times, and I'm impressed. They're intelligent. They also come from very high social standings and such.
Yeah, when you think packs or dogs, they tend to have big litters, but these anthros don't have big. I don't think. I think I get like 3. They may have up to 3 children or something at a time.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a brother, I don't think. I'm not sure.
I'm sensing some kind of relative of the same age group, but very distant. Sensing that. I would say that the civilization is about to, or is already in a birth rate decline, so that their actual birth rate and the population on the planet is going down. But it's probably not yet there, but they're getting there. And I'm also getting the distinct idea that they're very interested in the Christian mindset of resurrecting the dead. I also get that.
Yeah.
So it's also for them a matter of survival to be able to resurrect the dead. They'll get there eventually. Once more mosquito. That's like 5 mosquitoes that I've killed, like just sitting here for an hour. It's a huge amount of life. But it's not even a teaspoon of meat, you know.
Oh, what?
A teaspoonful of meat. That's the 6th mosquito.
Yeah.
When you kill one cow, you get a lot of meat. But when you kill these guys, you have to kill a huge amount for there to be any meat, and even then, it's not worth it.
Man, I could write an anthro cookbook, really.
Yeah.
I see boiling potatoes. Well, after they cook the potatoes, it's a little firm. They're more
firm. Raw is the word we'd use.
Yeah. Not really, kind of chewy, but not really chewy, but
probably thinking of something on the order of a plant that tastes like a cross between a pumpkin and a potato.
Yeah, it could be.
That it's more chewy and has a harsher structure than a potato.
Yeah.
Even when boiled for a long enough time, instead of a raw potato which tastes bitter, you know? I get that sense. After this experience, or even during this experience, you could very well write an entire book about the society. Like a complete manual on like...
But then somebody asked me later, oh, what was this? And I try to bring it up, and it like, oh, you have contradictions here.
Yeah, but I would still do it.
I'm afraid of being able to remember what did I write.
Yeah, but then you can say that you don't remember and you don't have access to the information right now because you're not connected to them on that level. That's what I would say. You know, that I don't remember and I don't have like access to them 24/7 on that level.
It's interesting. They like to show you a controlled, mentally deranged side.
Yeah.
They really like that. It's like the crazy, but really controlled.
I get the very same impression when I was talking with them. This is definitely switching from me telling you what I sense about them to you telling me what you sense about them. Definitely taking a switch towards that direction.
And you're kind of verifying, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm kind of checking against what I feel about them, if you're right.
But it's what I say sometimes just put an idea in your head and then you're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that happens often. It's like consistently fairly new information. Very itchy from all those mosquito bites, and there's still more mosquitoes to go. But they're lowering in number. Why can't I just get pure flies instead of mosquitoes in there? And be content with flies. They're easier to repel with smells, for example. I wonder if they do tests on what repels these animals by having like cups of food with different scents in front of them and a container full of flies and letting them into that room and seeing which container they eat last, you know what I mean?
The flies?
The flies. I wonder if that's like how they test these, or do they like just put them in a cage and spray the thing into the room and see which ones die first? Because, you know, things that kill you may not be repelling of you, you know what I mean, with drugs, for example.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wonder which kind of tests they're doing.
When they cook their meat, when they genetically modify their meat a little bit so that it's more of an experience when you eat it. It's not just
Spices.
eating. What is
It's
it?
kind of like spices. That's what I sense as well.
Yeah.
Because you
It's
can,
more of a pheromonal thing than spice, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, but I would still use the word spices because it's more like culturally common. But I do understand them, like, because they have a lot of bat-grown meat, as far as I can tell.
Oh, okay.
It should be very easy to alter its taste and have it have like different pheromones and such, instead of modifying an animal or putting the thing in there after the animal has been slaughtered. I get that sense that they have the ability to modify like the genetic structure of their food. I get that sense.
They got their genetics technology from another race, didn't they?
Most of it, but they are definitely improving their own at the same time instead of completely adapting to another society.
See, here, genetic engineering is kind of looked down upon, but
Yeah,
they use
very
it. They use it
primitive.
for their food.
Yeah, and it's very primitive. I wouldn't trust the current method of genetic engineering of food, like salmon that has the genetic DNA of the eel to grow bigger. You know, I don't trust
yeah.
that type of food. I have a hunch that it's gonna be a bad idea. And like the Monsanto genetically engineered corn and
Yeah.
like rice, I wouldn't trust those things. I have a hunch that they're gonna go bad. I would just lower meat consumption and go organic if I wanted to solve the food problem of the world.
Every time I check in and he's at home, never. Oh, we go walking and stuff. We go exploring and stuff, but he's never at work or whatever.
I
Maybe I just never.
occasionally get the idea of him being in office, but he's mostly on his bike, and that feels like home, you know.
Oh,
That's kind of the sense I get. But while he's talking to us, he's definitely more at home currently than on his bike. I get the same sense. He's home very often.
do you get the sense he's alone? He lives alone?
Kind of get the sense that he lives with his mother.
Yeah, I was wondering
Yeah, I kind of get that sense. But
because I've never seen. Well, I've seen them together when he's introducing me, but I didn't get the
Yeah.
feeling of if he was alone or with his mother. But he was so close to her.
Yeah, and I also do get the sense that he's living alone to some extent. Like he has his own workplace or something similar that like is conductive to doing this kind of work, that he's mostly there and mostly alone. But I do also get the sense that he lives with his parent, you know? I do get that sense. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I had that thought about him living with his mom, but I was kind of torn between alone or mom. I can't get
Yeah.
it clear.
Yeah, that's kind of what I sense.
Yeah, after his dad died, he's closer to her to help her, support her.
Yeah, I do get that sense. That was probably a fly biting me.
Did it hurt a little bit?
Yeah, well, definitely stronger than a mosquito bite. It felt like.
Yeah,
some-
flies bite.
Yeah, I distinctly felt that. That fly was telling me not to want more flies around me because it's unhealthy for both me and the flies, because I'm used by the flies to develop intelligence. And they don't want any flies to bother me because that bothers my efforts to develop like intelligence in the flies. It's like flies getting brain cancer because there's too many of them.
Oh,
You know, I get that sense, so the flies don't want to have more flies around me, so he bit me to show me that, like, no more flies. You know what I mean?
yeah. Now, all the times we've gotten intimate, we've been alone in this house. So I think he doesn't live with his mom. I asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, he lives alone,
Yeah,
but he visits his mom."
yeah, that's also possible. I get the mild sense that he lives with her, but it's like, it seems like the more I feel it, that it seems more likely that what I would perhaps in many cases consider living in the like side building and having your own stuff, that he lives alone.
Oh,
You know, I get kind of the same sense of what I had with my family, that I lived like 300 meters away and went home for a sauna 3 times a week. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That was my independence. I also get that sense.
so if I wanted to write, would I try to remember everything we've talked about, or would I just say, "Let's talk. Tell me a story," and maybe channel it or something?
Maybe, it depends on what you feel like. You could write it into a story form and say it's about a society that you have astral contact with or something. But I don't know. It's a hard question. It's a very hard question. There's definitely different audiences for different things and different audience sizes. If you want a large audience size, which I wouldn't necessarily aim for, you may want to write a story about it in terms of like adventure and try to like include as many details about the society as you can. And in fact, you have channeled the society before when you did the book that you wrote. I was essentially...
I channeled a society.
Yeah, a society.
Yeah.
You've channeled societies before in this particular case. Yeah, society. Because it's at least 2 societies now that you've channeled the other societies, so it's societies, I think. I'm not sure if it's proper to say you channeled a society like before, or say that you've channeled societies. It's better with society 1 instead of societies plural.
It's interesting when he the shower is kind of it's spiraling. The water that spirals, I think.
Yeah.
But when he's there, it's like he's able to shut out the world, and
Yeah.
and he finds a peace that way more than I do. Oh, he told me a joke that's so wrong.
Do share.
What do you call a puppy that crosses a road?
Yeah.
A flatlander. Have you seen that book,
Yeah.
The Flatlander?
Yeah, the movie actually, I haven't seen the Flatlander book.
It's like living in living in a two-dimensional world.
Yeah, one moment, I gotta go to the toilet.
so fascinating, so beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful baby.
Pause the recording. Your mother was looking for your help.
Okay.
You've been in a yard for a while.